Hey everyone, this is going to be a recap video on the gate of Pisces from the 13 gates of the Necronomicon. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts concerning that gate. That gate opens up on the city of the Necronomicon to the area associated with the monsters of the Cthulhu mythos and the Necronomicon. If people have been following me on the videos, they'll notice that I communed with ghouls, the nemesis of flame, the Sphinx deity, a high priest not to be described. I experienced the black winged ones and the larvae of the other gods. The general energy of this gate, I would say, would be fear, probably, would be the best way to describe it. Because I always came out of the gate with my heart racing and feeling like I was on the verge of something bad happening. When you're in that state of mind where you feel like something bad is coming, like a storm is approaching, or you see a bad car wreck or something like that. And just the energy of that whole thing is what permeated this gate. And a lot of these beings seem to be unfriendly to me when I passed through it. Some of them, would actually interact with me, but some of them were just like, get the fuck on kind of deal. So if you're somebody who works through these gates, just be cautious with this gate, the gate of Pisces. I think my favorite experience going through this gate was the larvae of the other gods and communing with the larvae. I think I called him Rasad. What's interesting is that translates from Arabic to the monitor. And I didn't know that because I haven't studied that word yet in Arabic. But that name just came to me as what I should call him. And that's a pretty apt description for that being because he sits beyond the sphere of Earth and monitors things that happen, And that was a cool experience. And also, I learned some useful occult information from this gate, like clearing a room of the larvae, energies that you don't want around you. Learned, I think it was at least 2 new forms of cursing. One working with the nemesis of flame, and 2 working with the black winged ones of the Cthulhu cultists. So that's something to add to the list of works that I could use later on down the line, especially in the 13th gate, the gate of rituals and ceremonial magic of the Cthulhu mythos. That happens later on down the year, though, past Scorpio. The strangest experience I had through this gate was probably the Sphinx deity, because of how symbolic a lot of the visions were and how chaotic the energy from it was. And it was really fascinating, the gnosis I got from that, concerning the goetic spirits who have cat-like appearances that might be descendants from the Sphinx deity. And that was pretty fascinating. The ghouls, that was pretty cool. It kind of awakened sort of atavistic hungers within me, and I craved meat a lot after that, meat and craving blood. That increased afterwards. I think the ghouls could be called upon through this gate to attack an enemy in a form of astral attack. And I'm sure they could be called upon sort of like the elementals of the earth, the gnomes, for finding lost treasure and things like that. But I'm glad this gate is closing, to be honest with you, because I'm ready to move on to something else, something new. And the next gate is going to be pretty interesting. It's associated with the habitations of humans mentioned in the Necronomicon mythos. So that'll be an interesting gate to explore. I think it only stays, I should say, openable for 5 days or so. So I'm going to be trying to work that gate every single night and explore the locations that interest me the most. Probably like the Rub Khali Desert and Egypt and Easter Island and Atlantis. So that's something to look forward to in the coming days. But yeah, this is the just the general recap of the Gate of Pisces because I've been doing a recap for each gate after it closes. Sort of like I meditate on my experiences so far, and then I share them with y'all. Um, as far as perception changes, the only thing that changed was my perception of the world around me. Uh, Made me realize that there's a lot going on underneath people's perception. There's a lot of things that exist parallel to our dimension, but slightly out of phase with it. Beings of immense potency, and that could invoke immense terror if you're not prepared for some of these experiences. I saw that strange cloud manifestation in the sky that one day I took a picture of it and said it reminded me of an elder thing. Uh, Energies of locations it seems like I can latch onto it better and get a feel for it and a feel for the history of it. I've also felt more connected with the jinn and the jinn that I work with in particular. I felt a lot more connected with him. Uh, as y'all noticed, that banishing rite of smokeless fire that I posted, his influence helped me develop it. Uh, the dreams that I've had, they haven't really changed much since I worked this gate. I figured they would, but they really didn't. Um, I have dreamed a lot more about the crawling chaos since I set up an altar dedicated to him, but that's a good sign that that working was successful. So, yeah, that about covers it for this gate. Inferno Hells.